Coach Locksley, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, great team win, great start to the 2024 season, and great liftoff to it. You know, we talked to our team going into this game about the start and the importance of getting off to a fast start, kind of coming and putting it all together. And I thought we were able to do it today with you know, all three phases contributing to the win. In terms, you know, we had a turnover on special teams, defensively created some turnovers. We've got to play a lot of players, and to me that's something that's much needed for our team, and especially in games like this. If you look at the lack of experience on offense, to be able to get 85 plays, I think we played somewhere to 72 different players played in this game. So to me that will come back to pay great dividends for us as we move through the season. You know, offensively, to see us be able to run the football against a front that was non-traditional, to say the least. You know, we did a lot of movement stuff, and we had a few of those what I call 50-50 runs, where the ball, sometimes the guys come free because they're twisting and moving, and we're going to have to be able to handle that a little bit better. I thought Billy did a really good job of controlling the offensive system, over 300 yards, and to me did a great job distributing the ball, getting it to the playmakers, and I think today we're able to show that again, we've found and been able to develop some guys that have the ability to make big plays for us on offense. Defensively, giving up just the one score, and to me, just from looking at it, and thank goodness for technology, because I can't come in here and say, oh, let me look at the tape and I'll let you know, because we get to see it pretty in real time. But you know, we were able to force 3 turnovers, and when we gave up the touchdown, it was a communication error that we've got to get fixed. Jack House opened it up well for us, hitting 3 field goals, and then, you know, how about the punter McPherson being able to change and flip field position. He's able to pin them in 25 out of 6. But now what we've got to do, and typically, which is very normal, the biggest jump that we'll make as a team typically is between week 1 and week 2, because now we see kind of the identity of what we're capable of against real people and not just against ourselves. And I'm excited, you know, to get back in here on Monday. We'll celebrate it tonight. They'll be off tomorrow. Get back in here Monday evening and start our preparation as we enter into our Big Ten opener next week, which comes upon us pretty quickly next week in the Shell. Shout out to the student section and, you know, our fans who showed up for this game, you know, against UConn. The energy that was brought was needed, and it was a great environment to go play. So with that, I'll open it up to whatever questions you guys have.
Coach, how are you?
Brandon, what's up?
Nothing much. So you briefly talked about that offensive line. Obviously, it was a relatively kind of new group.
Relative.
For the 5 that started. I mean, how would you really feel they worked communication-wise and really gelled out there today?
You know, we were able to get the meaningful snaps for that group. I think our ones played close to about 70 plays, 64, 65 plays, and you know, those 5 will only get better as the season goes on. You know, again, this was one hell of a opener to open up for a young, new, and experienced O-line with all the different things that they did front-wise. They were doing a bunch of stemming from 3 down to 4 down. They had the odd spinner look where they were taking linebackers and overloading them. And, you know, I thought for the most part, the 5 did a good job with the communication piece. We knew going in that it would be a 50-50 run game. I mean, they may bang us in the backfield once or twice, but we may hit an 80-yard like we're able to do with Nolan Ray, or a big play like we're able to do when they play that style of defense. I think getting on the tape and them, just the experience of playing the game together will benefit from that.
Mike, what was it that went into the decision to start building what separated him from the rest during camp? And you mentioned his play overall today. What was especially impressive to you about his performance today?
You know, I think coming out of campus, the metrics, the things that we've talked about, you know, the drive chart, winning on 3rd down, protecting the football, doing a great job of elevating the level of play with the players that he's on the field with. You know, the one thing that really jumped out to me about Billy throughout camp, and I think Ray Charles could see today, that, you know, his ability, you never knew which group he played with. His ability to run with the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s, and when we watch the tape, not know which group he's playing with. Because, you know, one of the things we strive for is to have the mind of a coach and the skill of a player. And if you just look at the comfort level that he showed operating the system with all the stuff going on around him and the way he was able to distribute the ball, you know, that's the reason. And he protected the ball the way we needed to. And not that those other two, I think you saw today that both Cam and MJ, again, as I said, we can win with all three. And we have, you know, we'll have the ability to develop them. We went in with a plan where MJ was going to play 2-3 series this game to develop him like we know we're going to need to. And it was great to be able to get Cam some work. So all three of those guys, like I said, have the ability to run our system, and we'll keep growing with Billy. Hey, Taylor.
Billy's waited 2, really 3 years for an opportunity like this, and patience like that is pretty rare in college football these days. I mean, how important has it been for you and the program to have someone like that who's willing to wait their turn, go through a camp battle, and and come through when the opportunity comes?
I wouldn't say wait his turn because we got him out of the portal. So I would say that I'm glad we were able to get him out of the portal. But no, I mean, guys like Billy, and it's so hard in today's society because of the pressures that some of these kids have on them, where everybody wants it now. And as I told those three, having been through a quarterback battle like we've just gone through, it kind of reminded me of the Jalen Tua Mac Jones deal. We got 3 really good quarterbacks, and they all have to continue to do the necessary things to develop the parts of their game that maybe they're not a strength of theirs, and they all know the system. They all have worked hard, and you're only going to see those guys get better with the reps that we're able to get. And again, with Billy, it's his job. He's our quarterback, and we'll ride with him. But we'll continue when we have opportunities to develop the rest of our roster. We'll always do that. What's up, big man?
You guys had 249 yards after the catch today, which was higher than any number you had last season. Was that something where you guys are making concerted effort to try to get in Ty's hands more, Caden's hands more after the player, or was there just a couple of big plays this spring? How would you describe it?
No, we're pretty intentional about touches. We track touches all game long. Like the reason Caden Prather went in late in the third quarter with Cam is that we wanted to try to get him another touch. One of the ways that you control your team is you utilize them. And I think when you create roles for every player, you look at the players we played on defense. I saw number 6 out there. I saw 11 and 2, those freshmen. Anytime you can play freshmen and they can get on the field and fail and make plays, it only makes you stronger. So there's no doubt that being able to play a bunch of players today will benefit the Terps.
Hey, Coach.
Man, what's up, man?
It's good to see you go. I know you've talked about this offseason, just trying to find ways to run the ball efficiently. Obviously today, Nolan Ray, his first touchdown, just time before, and DeJuan Williams, but then in the end zone. But just kind of running back room as a whole, obviously Colton McConnell as well. How would you kind of assess how they did today?
Yeah, I'm not going to say I told you so. I think I said a few years ago that some of these young players with the running back room, we lose guys, but one of the things, running backs, receivers, skill players, this system is built for playmakers, and the way we were able to get the ball to different people today and get it to them in the places that they're able to make plays. And I was so happy for Josiah. He's had a rough week. He lost his dad in a car accident a week ago, Saturday. And he stayed here all week, and we loved on him. Our team got behind him, and for him, that's why our team was really excited that he was able to get a touchdown, because he's got going home here just tomorrow to bury his dad and get back here. And it was great to see him be able to make a play, and as part of our family, man, it was a great day to see that happen for him.
Coach, everyone always talks about quarterback sliding and you sort of getting out of trouble and all that kind of stuff. What were your thoughts today? Obviously, seeing your quarterback slide and trying to stay out of trouble, but then having to take some of those hits. Was it kind of an outlier kind of thing? Or?
I hope it's an outlier. There's a couple times where I didn't want us to slide. We slid on a short yardage play where, once you give yourself up that way, we work drills where we dive forward, and because you're better protecting yourself going forward than you are sideways. And we've got to find ways to continue to teach our quarterbacks not to take those extra shots. But some of the shots they took today, there's no way around them. There were penalties. We got to protect our guys a little bit better. But I also think there's some times where we shouldn't slide, and maybe going down, face first and diving more than sliding when you're able to do that, it will be probably the better thing.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
What's up, George?
Good to see you. Going to MJ in the second quarter, something that you saw the opportunity being up a little bit, like, hey, let's get him some reps here in real time. Was that design?
We planned on, he knew he was going to go in the third or fourth series. It's just part of our process of developing. Billy knew it. There was no surprises of what was going on. We communicate. You know, every player in our program knows why they play, why they don't play. That's the only thing we owe them. And you know, going into this game, it's Billy's job. He is our quarterback. There's no short leash. He's not looking over his shoulders. But when we have opportunities to play guys like MJ and some of these other players, we're going to play them because we understand that the Big Ten is a tough league, and we're going to eventually need these guys. And the only way they get better is by playing, not standing on the sideline.
And finally, having the sidelining tech for the first time in a regular season game changed the way you approach anything? Absolutely helpful, detriment?
It's a game changer for us because you know, when you are teaching. You know, this generation grew up on iPads. They didn't grow up with a chalkboard and, you know, that little crazy noise used to make on it, kind of squeaky noise. So they're iPad kids, and you know, as I told our staff, one of the things, and we do it in practice now, the resources that Colleen gives us back there, you know, brought us these big TVs for us to have on the field. Thanks so much, Colleen. But you know, I call it putting their face in it. You know, when you train a dog and he does something in the house and you take him over there and put it in and show him like, hey, that's not good. Well, that's kind of how we've used the technology, and we've come up with a system throughout the course of the game where when a guy makes a mistake, we take it to him, we sit him down, we show him immediately, and the learning takes place now instead of having to wait until Monday. They'll be gone for about, you know, today, the rest of the day, and tomorrow, and they'll show up Monday. But it allows us to clean things up a lot quicker and show them immediately, and we're teaching all the time.
Time for 3 more.
Right.
John, you got defensively, you guys kept them out of the red zone for the first 2.5 quarters. What were the seeds to success defensively?
You know, just the knockback, the gap, sound gap control. You know, the area where we got in trouble was those big plays with missed tackles. You know, Perry had the missed tackle, and then we gave up a couple of chop routes in the slot where we were in good coverage, and a couple times they just made great throws and great catches, and that's going to happen at times. But, you know, I thought our defense had a really good plan going into how we wanted to defend it. UConn, and really not knowing what they were going to be. You know, new quarterback, new system, new coordinator, made it tough. But, you know, once we kind of figured out how they wanted to attack us, I thought B-Dub and the defensive staff did a good job for the most part. We still got some things to get cleaned up from a communication standpoint, and then also doing a better job of tackling.
Hey, Coach.
What's up, big man?
Can you talk about how much, I want to say, pressure maybe takes off the offense where your defense is playing so well, dominating the football, not letting them get into the red zone?
Yeah, as I said before, man, a young or inexperienced quarterback, which, you know, Billy's kind of in the middle there. He's got some experience, but just still the game experience. That's his best friend, is some good defense and a running game. And today we had both those things. And, you know, I think you were able to see Billy kind of calm himself down. I think Josh did a good job early of getting the ball in space to some of our guys, giving Billy a couple of layup throws to kind of, you know, ease into the transition of taking this thing over. But I really like the way Billy played. I like the control and command he had of our system, and a couple balls that we'll talk about. We'll get a chance to get corrected, some fundamental things that will get better, but really pleased with his first outing as our starter. Wayne, hold on.
I'll try and not be so formal today, but
oh, good, Wayne.
Glendon Miller had his first start and had the first 2 tackles. Trader had some tackles. Scruggs had a pretty good game. What do you make of those guys in the defensive backfield today?
Again, you know, the experience over the years. Dante's got 3 years worth of experience. Glendon Miller can play nickel, can play safety, can play corner. His experience, 4 years experience there. You saw a bunch of the young guys, number 6, you know, Jacob's going to be a hell of a player for us. He got some great meaningful snaps. You know, the way that the safeties and they're like the quarterbacks on defense, and Dante has done a really good job of settling things down. You know, we got young corners or inexperienced corners, so to have that veteran experience on the back end, and then when we put Glendon down as a nickel, and it allows us to bring Scruggs in. And, you know, Scruggs had a pretty good game from what I've seen, and you know, the last 2 weeks has really come on strong, which allowed us to move Glendon down to the nickel position.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you very much.